Hello everyone, this is Shrike playing Hand of Hexes. This is the demo, the free demo that they've got on Steam right now. And this game's pretty cool. So it is a roguelite, which means you basically have different paths you can take, different tiles that either do combat or different events, that kind of thing. You also have a deck builder aspect to it, so you're adding cards to your deck, removing them. But it's also a tower defense game. So your cards are actually towers that you're placing on the map, and you can affect the path that the enemies will take to get to your, in this case, cute cat wizard that you need to protect. The game is quite adorable overall. And I guess one kind of twist that it has is that there are no text explanations or anything. You have to just figure things out yourself based on the icons and the general presentation. Now, I've played this for about like 90 minutes and it's quite fun. It's got more depth than I thought it would be. So normally you would start with no modifiers whatsoever on difficulty 0. As you complete runs, you get to add more and more modifiers to it. So I've gotten up to modifier 5, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to show you how this works. This game is quite fun. So to start with, we are going to have to pick our path that we want to take. I'm probably going to take this top path just because it demonstrates basically all of the mechanics except for the cat here, which is a shop. Spoilers alert. But after the first boss, we'll get to do another route anyways. So very first combat, as you can see, units will come along this path. It's a very light path. You can't really see it very well, but as you play towers, it becomes darker and you can see it a little more closely. So we're going to play our towers here. So these frogs here, they've got some costs. They've got the stars in the top left corner. They've got the symbol in the top right, which means it's a tower. They've got these icons here. I happen to know what they mean at this point, so I'm just going to play them out. And there, as you can see, shooting to the left. Oh, look, that's interesting, right? You're all just kind of shooting directly to the left, and the enemies are going along this path to the cat. Then we've got these bombs that cost apparently 1 star, right? Because in the top right-hand corner is your stars. And if you want to redraw your hand in this deck, you can pay 2 stars, and then just refill your entire hand. You can have 7 cards in your hand, and by doing that, it does cost you stars, which regenerate over time, but you can refill and then play more things. Obviously, there's limited space on the board to play your actual towers. And as you can see, at the top right of these ones, there's this little tower, because that's what you're placing. It's a tower defense, you're playing towers. And then this one is like a spell. So this looks like a snowflake. So yes, it freezes units in place in an area of effect. It costs 1 star, while this costs 4 stars, this costs 4 stars. You start with 6 stars on this difficulty. On lower difficulties, you start with more. But I think you start with 7 on earlier difficulties. So I can take this, which is a beehive, and it's summoning bees of some kind. And it's got 3 X's, 3 by 3 X's. So that's the pattern that it attacks in. So anything around it basically is going to get bees that come out and attack it. While this, it only does the 4 corners, the diagonal corners. And it's got some kind of effect here, and then you see, oh look, it's tentacles from this squid or octopus or whatever you want to call it. And it's pointing up because it ends up coming out of the ground. But you wouldn't know that immediately. You'd intuitively figure this out over 1 or 2 runs as you try them out. But otherwise, there's no text explanations or anything like that. It's just all relatively easy to figure out. I'm going to take the bees here. It is expensive to play, like 4 stars is quite expensive, but we'll go to the second fight. And what I'm going to do here is, I know these guys attack to the left. So what I'm going to do is just probably have them shoot across this gap here. Also, on this difficulty, I have got this 1 star tower that does nothing. It doesn't do anything. It's just a waste of space. It's kind of like if you're familiar with Commander Quest, the sheep takes up space, doesn't really contribute much. But there is the slight benefit of you can use it to block spaces, right? Now I'm going to start using bombs because our towers are not killing quite fast enough. Well, we win. Also, on this difficulty, I'm not starting with full HP. Take minus 5 HP. Not a big deal. The chicken, you see this egg with a bomb inside of it. What could that possibly mean? It lays a egg that is a bomb. Surprise. The snail, you can see it does a spiral pattern. What does that mean? And a single dot. Well, if you'll remember, I guess I can't. There is a slight bug here where I can't seem to open. On this screen, I can't see my deck. But it's similar to our froggy dudes that shoot left, but with the dot. So you know it shoots a bullet. Oh, the spiral pattern. What does that mean? It means it actually shoots it in a spiral pattern. First it'll shoot, one direction and then go clockwise around. And then we could have another mushroom. Now this -1 star here means this is normally 3 stars to cost, but now it's only 2. I'm going to take the mushroom. And actually, if I look at our deck now... Oh, I didn't take the mushroom. I took the beehive. But we are going to go to here. So this is a rest site. It's a campfire. Hey, look, we could heal the full. Or this symbol, which did confuse me at first. Actually, like -0. What? Huh? But no, this is burning a card. So you can remove a card from your deck. So if I'm like, we got 11 cards on my deck. We draw 7 per. I could just remove the poop from our deck. I could also just remove a bomb, for instance. I'm going to remove the poop from our deck. When you first start, you won't have that in your deck. So I would advise getting rid of maybe one of your basic frogs. Oh, we don't get a... I really wanted... Oh, wait, no, we're going to it right now. I'm good. So, this shows... Look, there's 2 cards here. This plus this is equal to what? Well, you pick a card. You pick another card. Maybe I just pick another frog. Oh, look. It's 2 towers in 1. It's this effect plus this effect. So it's going to shoot 2 bullets to the left each turn. If I combine it with, say, this, then it's going to shoot to the left and everywhere around it. We'll get an effect. Neat, right? I'm just going to double up on the frogs. At least I think they're frogs. Yeah, because shooting twice, that's double its DPS for 1 tile, which seems really good to me. We're going to go to the cauldron here. Now, I could burn a card. Or I could add 2 more stars to our cat. So instead of 6 out of 6, we're at 8 out of 8. Which will allow us to play more things earlier, which might be very important. We're going to go do 1 last fight. So I really want our double frog to be doing as much damage as possible. So I'm probably going to do it this way. And I'm probably going to want the bees. And I could... Actually, I'm going to play this to stun. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I need a... Oh, wait. Bomb him. Oh, well, we took damage. I could have prevented that. That was actually just my bad. That was 100% my bad. I panicked. I was trying to explain things at the same time as playing, and it won't ultimately matter too much. But as you can see, I don't have enough stars to play this. I'll just do this, and maybe this. Let's speed it up. Had I been just slightly faster to play the bomb, I would have been fine. But if we ever do heal, we heal for 6. Healing for 5 versus 6, the same, essentially. So this shoots upward. I happen to know the chicken drops the bomb directly to the right of it. We have a lot of damage to the left right now. And we got the bee that does all around it. We also have the stun all around it. So I might not add anything because we've got 9 cards in our deck. And we really want, if we survive this boss. Ooh, this is actually a new map for me, so I'm surprised at how much variety they have in the game already. I really should have the stun here. Would have been nice. Let's do the bees. The bees aren't in the greatest position ever, but we can make use of our bombs. We'll draw our whole hand again. Means I can play another one of these. And if they get this far, we'll stun them. And I can just draw and hopefully get, yeah, there we go. Our double frogs are, well, twice as good as these other cards, so I'd really rather be playing them whenever possible instead of the regular frogs. All right, we're good. We win. Now, the porcupine, as you can see by the 3 X's here, it's shooting up and to the right. And it's got like a spiny effect. Surprise, surprise, it's a hedgehog. The penguin is currently cheaper than it normally would be. And it shoots downward. Or a frost effect downward. We don't have anything that shoots down right now, so that would not be a terrible choice. Oh, we got the area effects. I might not add anything to our deck right now. I think we want to make our deck smaller. Oh, 3 splices going along the top, so that's what we'll do. Splices are great because it just gives you the same value but better. Just in every way possible. I find stun effect early on is really good. Could do bees. Probably should have used their bombs. It's okay. I didn't draw my actual good card, unfortunately, because all I drew was bombs. So I'm gonna draw again. It's costly to do that. And I don't have enough to play. There we go. But as you can see, on this difficulty at least, they're summoning way more units than what I've previously seen. So I don't know necessarily if the bees are gonna carry their weight, but I can probably just bomb this. Yeah, we're good. Do I want the porcupine or this? Do I? I don't think I do. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna wait. Not having directly up and down might hurt us in the long run, but I'm gonna do this. Let's speed it up. I'm gonna actually use our bombs just so that we can free up space in our hand. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I gotta slow down. These guys go invincible every so often, which is obviously a bit of a problem. Uh-oh. Well, we're gonna take 1 damage. That is not good for us. Okay, I'm gonna need more DPS probably here. Stuns would also be good, but we can also start just using bombs probably to thin this out. When they're so clumped up, bombs are quite good, obviously. All right, we'll speed it up. We'll draw. It is flipping out because we're below half HP, but I'm actually not that concerned. Okay, speed it up. We're good. Geese shoot two to the right twice, which is pretty cool. I have found that if you get 2 of these geese hydras and combine them, it is incredibly powerful, but we don't have that right now. So what I'm going to do is just combine our 2 frogs. So now, no matter what, our frogs are going to be quite powerful. I might take the heal here. We don't need to really remove anything from the deck, although removing a bomb would not be terrible. I'm just going to take the heal as a safety. Although, if we start leaking at this point, we probably will just lose. We'll probably just lose. Well, this is not a terrible choice. It'll do everything around it with bees and then shoot to the right as well. I think that's fine. And I can do one more splice, or I could try and get another card, but I think just another splice will be more star efficient. Although I have nothing to combine, so maybe this was a mistake. Oops. Yeah, I could. Alternatively, I could just combine our dudes here, but would I want that? I don't think I want that. As you can see, you can only ever have 2 together. So now I basically just effectively removed a card from our deck. So maybe that wasn't so great. But all right. I'm going to put this here. And bees and to the right. That's pretty good if I can block this off at all. Okay, I'm just going to draw because I need more things in our hand. Now, they have flyers here, which will just go directly straight. They won't path around our stuff. So obviously, we don't really want that. I'm gonna wait till we get enough stars to play bees here. And I can stun here as well. And we just need to start bombing this stuff. It's so clumped up. And your bombs can actually become 0 cost as well. Which makes them infinitely more playable, but so far, this looks pretty good, so I'm going to speed it up. We're going to redraw our hand. And I think we'll manage. This guy keeps going invincible, but we're mostly fine. Oh, we're not fine. Oh, I'm glad we healed. But hey, we win. And there you go. You know, it's like a 15-minute run. You know, nice and easy. Nice and quick, I should say. And then, if we go play again, I can see what the next difficulty level is. Ooh, faster dudes is what this looks like, because these guys have pluses on them. This has, like, you know, the dashy effect. So we can kind of see how that works. I don't know what the max difficulty is going to be. Let's go along the bottom here, or maybe we can go back up top after. Let's do that. We haven't gone to the shop yet. It just hasn't happened, but you can probably imagine. Also, you'll find that on the lower difficulties, you'll get a very different starting map here, which you basically can't lose. But for now, it seems like now that I'm at high enough difficulty, we can actually get a different effect, different starting maps. Which is something I was concerned about, because once you've figured out the very first map, I'll actually show you after this run. We'll do a lower difficulty run. This spell in the middle does a horizontal damage effect. It doesn't show it here, which is a little concerning. You do have to play it to find out what it does, but I'm going to take the Goose Hydra because I really want to combine that, preferably with another Goose Hydra, because it's a really cool effect. Goose Hydra is not going to be very helpful in this particular map. Probably not. I'm going to speed this up so we can get some mana. So I'm actually going to draw just so we can get more frogs. Unfortunately, yeah, the geese are not going to be helpful here because they shoot to the right. Oh, look, another one. Perfect. On most maps, it'll be very good. All right, Cauldron. I probably just want plus stars. Those geese are expensive. They do be 4 stars. All right, we're going to go to the gene splice here with the experiment. And now it's going to shoot 4 bullets to the right. For 4 stars, that's pretty damn good. That's a lot of DPS. We're gonna go along the top here. Go to the combat. This will be good eventually, but I want it to be like here. So anything that does get past our frogs will have to get past this geese, essentially. Which is, as you can see, they do a lot of damage. They do a lot of damage. I might need more geese over here, though. Although I probably could get away with just bombing them. Actually, they're just not making it past. I can also block with the poop, but there's no real reason to do that. Also, I bet that's not a sentence you expected me to say. You can block it with poop. All right, I'll show the porcupine off maybe. Well, actually, it's not cheap or anything. Let's do, the chicken is a little bit, it doesn't really solve any new problems for us. Other than we can stick at the end, it can build up a bunch of eggs. The snail, I don't find the snail to be all that useful, even for 2 mana. I think we just probably want to skip for now. And do I want to remove something from our deck? Probably do. I don't think we need to heal. I think we just need to thin things out so that we can get the good cards more often. So I'm getting rid of a bomb. Hopefully we get more gene splices in the next stage. So I'm going to do this, blocking this path off and also sending them to the right in order for... I need to speed this up. We got this nice little death zone here. We draw. If I had done this better, I could have... That's probably a good safety measure anyways. We're good. We're super good. And towers shoot across themselves, so I can just easily stack them up. May as well draw some more. And now they're having to go through this huge gauntlet of bullets. And we win. Something that shoots down or up would not be terrible. We're probably unlikely to improve it, so I'm going to take the cheap guy that shoots directly up. Let's go to the... Well, let's definitely go to a shop. Although, I would really like a Gene Splice. You know, Gene Splice has a shop here as well, so it's not that bad. Oh, there's a lot of combat, which we don't really need to add things for a deck, so... Combat's not the greatest in that regard. But now this guy can shoot directly upward as things come down, which is cool. And I'm going to just keep piling on as much stuff as we can here and make a bit of a maze. And I can stack up our vertical damage here. And if I wanted to, I could force them over to the next tile. And if this went on longer, I could have more vertical attackers here in this corner. But there was no need in this case. A 0 cost, but it does take up a space card draw slot. So I don't think I will. I think we'll just pass. Knowing when to not add cards to your deck is just as important as when to remove or otherwise. I'm going to start removing these frogs from our deck. Because I'm only really going to need 2 of them to combine at the splice zone. Assuming I don't get something better to add. I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to use the poop to block this off so they have to go this way and get hit by the geese more often. I'm going to draw. Got more geese, which would be great to put right here. Then I've got so many geese. Oh, things are still getting past though, which is a bit unfortunate. Although we are managing. I need to speed this up because it's going a bit slow. Soften them up. I need more stars. Oh god. Okay, I don't think they'll get past. But as you can see, the difficulty ramps up quite a bit on the higher difficulties. And we win. I will show off those cards. Oh yeah, I did say I'd do a 0 difficulty run. I don't know whether to call them ascensions or stages or what. Okay, the shop. I can pay to add an extra star, or I can pay to remove cards. I'm gonna get an extra star. Maybe 2 actually, and then we'll remove 1 card. So now we've got 8 cards in our deck. 10 stars, which is great. And I get to combine 2 more. So then we'll have 7 cards in our deck after doing this. Boom. Which means every time we draw, we're drawing our entire deck. Which means I always get all of our cards. So I have full options available to us. So like I can do geese here. Let's do this. Now I can use this. It doesn't help us a whole lot, but... All right, let me draw some more. I'll just redraw the rest of our deck. I'm gonna do this, and then we're going to do this. I don't have enough stars. I'm poor. We'll just stack up. They're not getting through at all. Like, this is so much damage with these geese. Oh, crap. This is the danger. They got flyers that are just flying at us. And luckily, I had things that could actually hit them as they were going directly for the cat. Another goose. There's no real reason to it because we already have a better goose that we draw every single turn. And it's the same cost, so I won't bother. All right, so what I'm gonna do is probably this and this. I need to block off the bottom lane just so they don't go there. And the benefit of being able to shoot directly up is that the flyers are going to be a bit of a problem though. Just a little bit. Need 2 stars for another shooty up boy. Yeah, let's speed it up. Hopefully we have enough damage here. Looks like we do. Even against the boss units. I do win. Now, don't don't think this is super easy. It's just because I've played it for an hour and a half before recording this. So, all right, we're gonna play. I'm just gonna take a peek and see what the next difficulty would look at. Oh, it adds more of these guys. Okay, well, let's show you what it would be like at the very start of the game. And I'll show you some of the other tower types that I wasn't particularly using there. So let's go along here. And as you can see, we start with 12. Actually, I wonder if they patched this to change the first level, because the first level before really didn't let you decide anything. So I'm actually glad I waited to record this, because otherwise it would have been a pretty lame first battle every time. Although I'm not entirely sure that they did patch it. It might just be after you play enough games. They don't. They change it up. All right, let's take the penguin since you haven't seen it yet. And we'll go here. Obviously, we don't need to heal, so we can just remove a card. I'm going to remove one of our bombs. Towers are more important to me right now in the early game. Of course, you only get to do 2 runs in the demo. In the full game, I'm sure it'll keep going. Plus 2 stars or remove another card. Let's remove a frog. I don't think that removed the card. All right, that's a slight bug. That didn't really work how it's supposed to work. Oh well. So we basically didn't get any effect from that. So this shoots directly downward. And then we can stack our stuff up to get more damage. I'm gonna have to probably... well, let me just redraw. Luckily, this early in the game, it's pretty easy. And just stack things up. And we will easily out-damage them. Plus, you know, it's obviously on the very easiest difficulty here. Okay. We have not seen the porcupine yet, so I'll show it to you. Fear not. On this difficulty, I don't really expect to be losing, so let us... oh, this frog's cheaper. Well, unfortunately, if you include a cheap one and an expensive one, you just get the expensive one. Because, as you can see, the -1 star takes up a slot, a modifier slot. When you add them together, you get 2 of these instead. We could have something that shoots to the left and down. Or I could double up the frog, which I think is just more value in this case. Sometimes it can definitely be useful to have something that shoots like maybe the porcupine with something that shoots directly up can be quite good. Having a down is pretty good in this case. Also, I could do this with the porcupine. As you can see, it shows the arrows. It's going to hit everything that goes above itself, which is cool. All right, we'll speed it up. And we're just going to be playing our hand out mostly. I can't play it here because it would block the path. Makes sense. But otherwise, we're just playing out our hand. There you go. The goose is really good, but I will play the cheaper octopus just to show you. It is pretty cool. In very specific cases, it can be very useful. So it triggers, you know, and then 4 tiles around itself. On this particular map, probably not as useful. We can get 3 tiles at the very least. Should be good. I don't have a good downward spot to put. I didn't set this up particularly well. We are kind of poor here. Will those guys leak through? It doesn't look like it. I think we're fine. I didn't draw the best... my best card, which is unfortunate. Well, we can have porcupines. Do like a staircase here. There we go. There's our big damage. Could play the small one, but... so, this would not be the worst spot ever for it, but also not the best. But we should just win, I think. And we could. So we can get another one of these, and we could combine them, which I think will just attack twice as fast based on the other ones if we do combine them. Ooh, we got 2 splices along the top. We got a shop. All right, we'll just go along the top here. I think that's probably the best for us. Well, we got the good frog. We've got this, which will be quite useful here, probably. And then right here is really good if we block this square, so they have to walk over there. I'm just gonna use the bomb so it's not in our hand. Not terrible. We didn't really get the best draw ever. But we're also just kind of crushing them, so might just want to play cards just so that they're not in our hand and we can draw more. This is the downside of having a larger deck. But that is, you know, basic deck builder strategy. Let's play another one of these. Being able to shoot. Oh, I can't do it there because I would block the path. But either way, we win. Let's show this. We're just gonna have a big fat old deck full of stuff. But we'll slim it down by combining cards. So I'm gonna combine these two. They're both typically cheap, but as you can see, it goes back to being expensive. More expensive, but you get the double effect. If I go to another splice, we can probably combine to make this a little bit interesting. Let's combine the frog, and if it shoots left and down, it can be pretty good in like a top right position. If I play it here, it's less good. So yeah, I think the left and down is pretty good. I'm gonna actually just swap this around so that penguins first, just because I want to have a different picture. So now our deck only has 9 cards in it. We got a cheap one that just shoots to the left a little bit. Regular price double to the left. Regular price down and to the left. The double diagonal corners we got up and to the right. So we got some good options here. I'm gonna probably just remove a bomb from our deck here. Let's yeah, that's probably fine. Oh, we got a shop, which means I can get a lot more stars potentially, because I don't think we really need to remove anything else for the deck, so I'm just gonna spend all our money on stars. Well, I could remove one card. Removing the cheap frog is not a terrible choice. I think I will. We still want some bombs for when we run out of space to play towers. I think it's possible that you could kind of soft lock yourself into a losing position. So this shoots down and to the left. It would be better if it was down to the right, but it can work. Just pretty specific, I guess. For now, I'm going to use it as a down mostly. Also, this would be really good here. So this, as you can see, is a horizontal strike. It's not that important to us right now, but let us get some, maybe this here. Down and to the left, and then they're just going to go along the top. We'll have more porcupines and more damage here, and the down effect of these is actually not going to matter at all anymore, but oh well. Oh, we do have some flyers coming in, but we can deal with those. Looks like we're fine either way. I've not shown you the freeze yet, so I'll grab that card. And we'll go to the battle, the final battle. So putting this here seems pretty okay. It's only ever really going to get 2, but I'm just going to use those for the down effect right now. So I can show you the freeze, so it just freezes them in place. You know, pretty standard fare. Not a particularly long effect. I know you've got double octopus going along there. Also, this horizontal line is great for this kind of effect. But they will avoid the worst of the sides, so gotta be a little careful. These bosses are a slight problem. I don't have anything that's firing at it right now, and I don't have any stars, but we got enough HP that we just survived no matter what. And we only took 1 health. Not bad. And there we went. Look at him. He's all cute and happy. And that is the demo for Hand of Hexes. Like I said, I've played this, I guess, for over 2 hours now, and it's quite fun. I feel like I've essentially solved it. If you get 2 geese combined together, 2 geese hydras combined together, very, very powerful. Combining your frogs together is also very powerful. The others are definitely more situational. The mushroom stuns, which is quite good. I find the penguin definitely more situational. Same with the peacock, which shoots directly upward. But there are definitely situations where it's useful. One big thing I see about this game is that you really want a very small deck. You do not want a large deck. Otherwise, it costs you stars to draw hands, and it doesn't throw away the cards that are currently in your hand. That means if you have a bunch of expensive cards in your hand that you don't want to play, you have to play them in order to free up space to draw more cards that you do want to play. So having trash in your deck is exceptionally bad. I don't know how long they want these runs to go, because currently in the demo you get to do essentially 2 runs in one. You go through one set of map, fight the boss, run through the map. In Commander Quest terms, this would be, you get to do 2 chapters, and the chapters are very short. We did all those runs in 40 minutes, so I don't know how many they would want us to do in a row and how they would scale up. The maps seem quite small overall if they do expect you to go much longer. So for instance, like if you're playing Bloons TD, which is a tower defense game that is dedicated to just being a tower defense game, individual battles are very, very long, especially on the higher difficulties. And that allows them to make things go to absurd difficulties because you end up upgrading all your towers individually. There's none of that here other than being able to splice 2 together. But within one battle, in a normal tower defense, you're upgrading your individual towers and they get exponentially more powerful, but also way more expensive to do that. And that allows the difficulty curve of that individual battle to ramp up significantly. Here, I feel like they're quite limited on how difficult it can get. They can send more stuff at you, but if you don't have enough space or time to really whittle down things, they can't have like enemies within enemies, or like enemies when they die, they spawn more enemies, like the Moabs in Bloons Tower Defense, for instance. So I don't know. As a demo, a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. The discovery of figuring out what all the cards do and what all the different symbols mean, was quite enjoyable. You got to make assumptions about, I think that's what that means. Does it really? Let me try it out. And since the runs are very short, it's not very punishing. Like if you lose, it's really not a big deal whatsoever. You just go again. Yeah, fun little game. I have slight concerns about the longevity of it, but maybe that's not their intent. Maybe they just want it to ramp up in difficulty via these like ascension tiers. So adding more enemies, starting you with less health or adding junk cards to your deck or adding even harder or more higher tier enemies, that kind of thing. But I don't know. I would be very interested to see what your deck would evolve into if you did like 5 chapters. It would be possible that you would just condense your deck into just the best spliced together cards that can handle every situation, like every direction. And then if you just have those 7 cards that can shoot to the right 4 times, shoot to the left 4 times, shoot up a whole bunch of times, shoot down, you got some stuns in there, and then like you got a couple of bombs, and then that's your deck, and you can just draw that every single turn. I feel like you would just either eventually get outscaled or be like, what do I do? I can't just add more of like double geese to my deck, right? It has to be somewhat balanced, otherwise you just won't be able to hit certain paths on certain maps. There's definitely a lot they could probably do with maps. I would say probably make them larger, maybe have some different terrain types maybe. You do have to do a flying enemies, so the direct path between their source and your cat that you're protecting. You do have to consider that, but I don't know. Either way, cool game. Check it out. It's in the description if you want to see it. And I will see you guys in the next video.